When we talk about Black stories, they're often related to struggle, trauma, pain, survival, and all that's real. But what often gets left out is Black joy. I'm talking about the laughing and line dancing at the cookout kind of joy. So today we're taking a deep dive into Black joy. Is Black joy an act of resistance, a survival tool? Does it need an explanation? And why does it make some people uncomfortable? Let's get it. It's Blacktivities, baby. That's what we do. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Lisa.
And KK's here too. And you're listening to Blacktivities,
A celebration of all things Black.
Black culture, Black history,
Black perspectives, and Black panache.
Celebrating our Blackness doesn't mean exclusion.
Everybody's invited, but you gotta come in and have a seat.
So let the Blacktivities begin.
Makes me happy. Blacktivities is a part of who I am.
Welcome to Blacktivities. I realized as I was editing the last episode that we did not introduce ourselves. So I'm Shannon.
And I am Mona Lisa the poet. How are you guys?
And we are your hosts today. 3 Black women, although there's only 2 of us
Today.
today. With 3 different backgrounds and perspectives, linking our everyday experiences to our history as Black Americans. Last week, we talked about our education system, and this week, we're talking about Black joy.
I feel like it's perfect, especially with what's going on right now. But wait, hold on. Wait. I gotta say this. The dinging that you have your text messages is giving Black, is giving the fire alarm like we need to change the batteries.
Let me tell you, I get no text messages, none, until it's time to record, and then everybody want to text me.
Everybody want to call.
Right.
Yeah, everybody want to call. But I am very, very excited about talking about, Black joy, especially with what is going on in the world today. I'm not going to mention who everybody knows what, this certain person did. But in the midst of this whole topic, I do want to touch bases on the President Obama and Michelle and how they, illuminate Black joy. So if that's okay, if we can touch on that just a tad bit.
Of course. Love them. Love them. Love them. How do you define Black joy? What does Black joy mean to you?
Black joy to me is one waking up every day and not having any type of regrets in the skin that we're waking up in. And then also the confidence that comes behind it when we think about where we come from and wanting to further that even more, making sure we pass down that joy to our children and making sure they're experiencing it as well. So just being proud of where we come from and the things that we got to witness and having that contribute positively to who we are. That's Black joy to me. What about you?
I think of Black joy is to me, almost like a breath.
That's good.
Yeah, like a release
That's good.
of a bunch of stuff.
I might have to write a piece and incorporate that line. And I'm please let me borrow that one. It's like a breath.
In an article I found by Elaine Nichols, there was a quote that I wanted to share. She said, Black joy is finding the positive nourishment within self and others that is a safe and healing place. It is a way of resting the body, mind, and spirit in response to the traumatic, devastating, and life altering racialized experiences that Black people continue to encounter. When people live in a world that devalues them because they are Black or brown, as well as dismisses their contributions to the larger society, Black joy is and has been an effective tool that has allowed individuals and groups to shift the impact of negative narratives and events in their favor.
That's a really good one. I like how she put that. That's perfect.
Yeah, so I wanted to read that going into big facts. I'm fixing my lighting here. Okay. You ready for the big facts?
Let's go.
All right, so picture this. It's the 1800s in the US. Slavery is law, and Black folks have almost no recognized rights. But if you walked onto a plantation at night, you still might find people singing, clapping, dancing, laughing, and praising together. That joy was real, and it has a history. Historically, music, rhythm, and community were core parts of life to enslaved people. They sang work songs in the fields, made rhythms with their hands and feet, and played drums, fiddles, and banjos at gatherings. They did this everywhere, during hard labor, at worship, and at rare times that they could actually celebrate. Spirituals and other songs help people encourage each other, express emotion, and sometimes even share secret messages in ways that their enslavers didn't fully understand. So even while their bodies were controlled by slaveholders, Black people used sound, movement, and faith spaces to create moments of pleasure, connection, and relief. That joy didn't cancel out the violence around them, but it did make it possible to keep going day after day. After the Civil War, formerly enslaved people stepped into freedom with big hopes, but almost no resources. Many Black women in the South worked long hours as domestic workers and laundresses, doing hard physical labor for low pay. Even grinding like they did, they still made time for fun. Historians have found that Black working women saved money and energy to go to fairs, shows, silent movies, holiday events, and especially public dance halls and juke joints. City officials and white employers hated those spaces so much that they tried to shut them down, arguing that Black women should be resting for work instead of dancing. But those women still showed up to dance the night away, doing moves that some people called provocative. There was a dance known as the funky butt.
Okay, twerk system. Well, let's go.
This time of fun was one that they claimed freedom in everyday life. Some historians call the late 1800s and early 1900s the nadir or nadir, depending on how you want to pronounce it, which means the lowest point of suffering. This was a period when lynching, segregation, and political backlash were intense. But Black joy did not disappear. People went on trips and outings. They visited parks when they could. They organized picnics. And they created social clubs, even though most public spaces were segregated or openly hostile. Thinkers like W.E.B. Du Bois argued that joy and recreation were not extra, they were necessary. In a speech at Hampton Institute, he said Black people had a natural and God-given right to amusement and diverse forms of fun. He warned that if Black youth never had space for joy, the constant petty insults and daily racism of caste could drain their faith and hope. Du Bois made two key points. First, Black enjoyment, dancing, social events, mixed gender gatherings, was legitimate and not automatically immoral. Second, he believed that rest and amusement helped people recover from racism so they could keep sacrificing and enjoying for the race. In other words, joy itself wasn't always a protest, but it fueled people to keep fighting. So today, when Black people prioritize rest, plan a cookout after a stressful week, dance at the club, sing in church, joke in the group chat, take a trip, or just sit in quiet peace, we're claiming our Black joy. The idea that Black people deserve pleasure, leisure, and happiness is not new. It's been argued, fought for, and practiced across generations. So when you see everyday Black joy now, kids double dutching, aunties at the family reunion, folks laughing after work, think about the people who sang in the fields and the folks getting it in the juke joints after a 14-hour shift, and the people who insisted that joy was a right, even in the worst years of Jim Crow. That history reminds us that Black joy is not shallow or meaningless. It's
Mhm.
part of how Black communities in the US have stayed alive, stayed human, and stayed connected to each other then and now. And that's big facts.
Facts. Facts. With you sharing that, it made me touch on or remind me of the reason why I am a creative. And I don't want to jump into, I want us to have a regular conversation. It's the joy of me being able to, regardless of what's be going on in the world or whatever issues I may be experiencing, at the end of the day, it's a peace of mind. It's tapping into something that no one can take away from me. Being among people who are like minded, one, and I'm referring to like creatives, people that are poets and writers and, musicians. It's just something about being among people who want that same peace and they, applaud you no matter what,
Mhm.
creativeness you're putting out there. I mean, it draws you in and that's something that nobody can take away from you because that comes from you and it's just something about that energy. It charges you up being around like-minded people. So even if you're not a creative, if you whatever your profession is or whatever your hobbies or interests are, let that contribute to your Black joy and don't let anybody take that from you. Because again, history shows where they tried to beat it out of us. They tried to do a whole lot, but there's nothing you can do to remove Black joy.
Mhm. Yeah, we want to hear from you based on what you just heard. How do you define Black joy? Drop it in the
Yes.
comments.
Yes, yes, yes.
Lisa, what examples of Black joy have you seen growing up? And are you practicing it right now?
Oh, of course. Of course. So for me and my family, Black joy, you mentioned about dancing.
Hmm.
Um, dancing and us meeting up. We used to meet up at my granny's house, and I kind of wish that we still did things of this nature. As a matter of fact, we're trying to here and there. We still try to get together. Once I finish recording here, I'm going over to a cousin's dinner that we're having here today. But just getting together and just being around them as adults, it still makes me think about when we were little. And somebody got in trouble, and all the cousins would get in trouble because of that one person did it. You know what I mean? Um, our family being comedic, like us roasting each other, even though, we were roasting somebody, at the end of the day, it's facts, whatever we were roasting them about, and nobody's in their feelings. And they know that, oh man, they're gonna come with it next time. They automatically expect that. And that's something that I have contributed when it comes to my children, is making sure that they understand the importance of Black joy. So I could be sitting here having a serious conversation with them, asking them about something, and then they just break out in the Tootsie Roll while looking at me. And I'm like, stop, just stop. You know what I mean? But I mean, just that something that small. Look, as a matter of fact, watch right here. I just received a text message from my 20-year-old. Her and my oldest daughter right now are in Puerto Rico. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and y'all know Bad Bunny is performing. So they said Puerto Rico right now is super lit. And she just sent me a message and said, some Frankie Beverly and Maze just started playing, and I have just lost my mind. That was my daddy's favorite artist. And here it is. They in Puerto Rico and somebody playing Frankie Beverly and Maze, and here they are dancing in the middle of wherever they at. Okay. But that's something right there, something that small reminders, nobody can take that from you. So I think that's something that I feel like is a part of us in Black Joy. Not only that, just seeing aunts and uncles that are still together. Notice I ain't say parents.
Mm.
I'm just joking. But for you guys, your parents still together. An example, my father, before he passed away, him and my mom and my stepdad, they had that, it was a friendship bond. And to see that, to me, that's Black joy because that's frowned upon. To see exes just get along in that manner, that's Black joy to me because one, that shows one positivity and also you're being an adult about something. You can handle things, you're confident. So that's Black joy to me. That bond, that incredible bond they had till his very end. I want to hear from y'all. As a matter of fact, I want to hear some of y'all funny Black joy stories that y'all may have, or something that may seem a little odd when it comes to Black joy to you. Hit us up, inbox us, especially on IG. Like, let us know what your, Black joy is, what it means to you. Because I want to read them, especially the funny ones. Please send it to me. I want to know. Let's talk about it.
I remember growing up just enjoying my cousins, like you said, playing jokes on each other, family reunions,
Mhm.
um, and just like a general sense of community. Like, there is something different about being in a room full of Black people who are experiencing Black joy. Like, it's nothing like I've ever experienced before. Even like when we went to that Black podcasting conference
Mhm.
together,
Mhm.
like, it was just, there's something different. It's like a whole different air in the room.
Because again, it's like-minded people. There's people that one, you're learning, you could potentially learn something from. That way it'll elevate you and take you to that next level. But then also too, you could be doing something that they may not be doing where you're inspiring them as well. So it's that inspiration.
Yeah, it's just magical.
Mhm.
Like, I can't even explain it, but y'all know it. Do you think there's a difference between being happy and experiencing Black joy?
Yes. Um happiness is something that makes you happy at that moment. It could go away, it's temporary. Whereas black joy is an origination. Again, it's like joy could be the actual blueprint of, who you are, what you may have going on. So with black joy, I feel like it is very vital and important that we do, have some type of memory of that because it's going to contribute to our own personal blueprint. So yes, there is a difference. There's a difference. You could be happy. Yes, I'm happy. Yes, I'm black. Yes, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. But when
Give
you
me
have
a high
right,
five.
right. But but with black joy, I feel like black joy to me is where I'm listening to Solange. What's that song? Amadele? Is it called
Ooh, know
Amadele?
that one.
Yeah, girl, yeah. Yeah, the listeners know. Um, Amadea, I think is what it's called. Is listening to Amadea 365 because that's on my everyday playlist.
Mm.
Okay. So being able to get up and listening to regular music, not because it is Black History Month, but listening to something that's inspiring, that is highlighting like, I'm comfortable, like I'm me, regardless. I think that's very important. So
Yeah,
there
I
is a
agree with
difference.
you.
There is a difference.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think happy is fleeting, but
Mhm.
I think that Black joy is like within us. And like historically, I feel like in this country, we've always had some element of struggle or pain or something to overcome.
Mhm.
And so this Black joy is still within us,
Mhm.
regardless of our circumstances, regardless of how we've always had to just be resilient and make things work.
Mhm.
We've still had an element of joy. We've still been able to smile. We've
Right.
still been able to persevere. And that might even be like the key to why we've been able to be so resilient.
Right. And I think that's another reason why we get so disappointed at other African Americans or, people that may not highlight the black joy or where we come from. And they may, and it's their choice, go to the other side. But in my opinion, I feel like they do profit off of that black joy and they don't understand 100% of how important it is to make sure we embrace and we are contributing to the black joy because at the end of the day based on the facts that you gave us, the big facts, that joy is again part of the foundation of what got us to where we are now. So that's why we kind of look at certain people, and I ain't gonna name no names, like you should be ashamed of yourself because again, like you're created and it's who you are, that we accepted you into the piece of the foundation where black joy lies, and you're spitting in our face, which is a big no-no. So that's another thing why we're careful when it comes to our black joy. And we may not talk about this often, but as I asked before, we do sprinkle it in when it's needed. An example of that is where the Obamas released the video of how Barack Obama, his response, which me personally, we say it's a response. Me personally, I feel like he wasn't even responding because his video contributing to one, the love for his wife, where they come from, which is very powerful. They struggle on their own to become a part of, the legal system, so to speak, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, since the beginning, he showed his Black joy and how happy they were where they're educated. And the Black love, can't nothing go up against Black love. So I feel
Mm,
like that was a perfect response to some of the idiotic things that is coming from the White House. And I feel like we should also make sure we focus on we don't get have time to be replying to, small things. Things that because one, whenever you show that you are confident, there's always gonna be somebody that's not gonna like that and they're gonna come after you. Okay. And the one thing they do is they put their character in a place to where you should be ashamed of yourself. But their reply back and showing the example of Black joy and Black love, I mean, and that just the whole overall Black magic, I feel like it is perfect. And we all should be living in that light to where at the end of the day, just showing proof like, this is who I am. This is what I've been having going on since the beginning. Now let's see yours. What's
mhm.
yours?
I'm
Let's see your joy. What does your joy look like?
an
And
example of classy.
yes, exactly, exactly. So I feel like that was just perfect. Their reply, it was just perfect. Of course, it had me over there like, oh my God, like this is what it's all about. And then another thing too, I feel like we've kind of pulled away from exactly like our foundation of what exactly Black joy is. And everybody's just basically with this generation just feeding off whatever it is to take them to that higher level. And we've kind of gotten away from that. So I feel like that clip and what they posted was a reminder of what we should be focused on. Okay. It ain't
Uh,
about how many baby mamas. It ain't about how much money you have. It ain't about none of that. It's about what your foundation and what your character and who you really are and what you can contribute to your community. So if you can't contribute to none of that, then you need to get out of my face and don't say nothing to me. Period.
I mean, if you try to argue with a fool, you look like a fool. So
Exactly. There we go.
that just puts that man's character on display.
Yes.
And the contrast is very sharp.
Very, very, very.
But it makes me sad that we don't have sanity in the
I
White House anymore.
mean, and then like I guess and to be honest with you, I don't think there ever was. I just think that there was always great teams of people that say, "Okay, we're gonna put on a show." Yes, it unfortunately probably was there when Obama was in office as well. I'm just dumbfounded as to why, like, what happened to that fake team to say, "Okay, guys, we can't like this is not professional. We can't go in that light. We got to go a different direction." I mean, maybe that's just the whole point of the way the world is going nowadays, but Imma stick to
This
the
is
topic 'cause I'm finna go in a whole different direction, and I don't wanna do that. I think Imma stay positive with this Black joy thing because I was finna go into a whole different rabbit hole, but yes.
I mean, it's white supremacy lived out
Mm,
in real time. That's
mhm.
what it
Right,
is essentially.
right.
But moving back to Black joy, why do you think that Black joy makes some people uncomfortable? And do you ever feel like you have to like justify or explain your joy to people outside of the culture?
Yes. Um, with Black joy, again, it's a part of us being comfortable in our skin and us being able to illuminate how amazing we are because of what we come from. One is sometimes explaining the reason why I'm not reacting the way I'm reacting is because I know who I am. And they were like, "Well, what do you mean?" Well, I know that I could there go KK! Hey, girl. She came in just in time.
Right.
Look, she came in just in time. "Hey, guys, this is" let her introduce herself 'cause she ain't introduced herself last time. So tell her what we did last time, what we forgot to do. Shay Shay.
We forgot to introduce ourselves. So tell us who you are.
My goodness, I just get in and y'all put me right on the spot. I'm
Yes, let's
KK.
go. I'm gonna call her KK with the legs. Legs.
It's so good seeing y'all.
Yes.
Hey everybody, I'm KK. Is that all I'm supposed to say? I'm happy to be here on Blacktivities. This is my 4th season on, and it has been a pleasure and an honor.
You know what? I'm gonna buy us bamboo earrings. That's what I should have did. I'm buying us bamboo earrings. We're gonna have a theme day. One day, watch. Y'all
That
be
works.
ready. Yes.
That'll work for me.
And now ask her about. Let's double back with the first question though, because I'm curious to hear what she say, especially about the difference. The difference.
KK, you know they have a new name other than Karen's, right? It's
What?
Jessica's.
Where
Oh,
this come
really?
from?
Yes.
Where this come from?
I don't know. I heard that somewhere. It's Jessica's.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
I had no idea. I just thought we were gonna go back to Becky's or something, but
Oh Lord.
you know, remember it used to be Becky's and then it became
Yes.
Karen's?
Yes.
I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out.
You know that they have like a I was at the liquor store, liquor, L-I-K-K-S.
Store.
Yeah, store, S-T-O. Buying beverages. We having a little cousins get together after I finish recording. And I noticed that on where they have like the beer and then like the little cut water, those little beverages you can buy, there was one called Karen. And it was gluten free. I am not lying. I am not lying. But
Did
yeah,
you know there's actually a whole language called Karen? A whole language. It's a foreign language. Yes. Called Karen.
Well, you learn something new every day. I'm gonna get my Google on, I guess. Drop down and get your Google on, girl. Watch.
All right. So we're happy that KK's here now.
Yes.
KK, we were discussing why Black joy makes some people uncomfortable. And do you feel like you ever have to justify or explain your joy to people outside of the culture?
I ain't explaining nothing. I got black joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart.
Down in my heart.
I got black joy, 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 joy down in my heart. And I ain't explaining nothing to
See,
nobody.
I need to do that. I need to do that because again, I found myself in situations to where I'm like, again, what I was about to tell you when you joined in, Black joy, it comes with the confidence and everything. And sometimes, especially at work, you have people that don't understand it. And they're like, well, why is this or this? And I'm sitting here explaining, but thank you, KK, for enlightening me. I ain't got to explain nothing. It is what it is. You get what you get and that's it. So thank you for that.
But what's the opposite perspective? Oh, they attitudinal. They always aggressive. All that coded language, attitudes, aggression. So you can't win for losing. So you might as well just do you and be you.
I'm glad she came on.
You might as well because they're aggressive. You know, all the things, you know, I felt at risk. I felt my life was in danger, blah, blah, blah. When you have
my favorite. I felt like you were too emotional. What you mean too emotional? You was being disrespectful. So I was just sitting here with deer in the headlights and let you be disrespectful and I go about my business. No, we're going to address it. I'm going to come to you professionally. And that's another thing. We do it professionally and it's still an issue. It's still an issue.
Even when
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too. I remember when those black ladies got kicked off of the train or something they were on because they were laughing too much and too loud. I don't know if you remember that.
No, but wow.
This is a couple years back. They were on a train or something, and it was a group. They were on like a girls' trip, and they were laughing. And they were told they were making too much of a disturbance and got kicked off. This is it. Those are the microaggressions. The dislike and the distaste for our joy really has to do with the fact that we are in the position we are at in this world during this life. And how dare you be happy? How dare you be anything other than downtrodden and showing the effects of your oppression? I refuse because we only get one chance at this thing, and I simply refuse. I'm not gonna let somebody control how I feel and how I carry myself throughout the day.
Absolutely. We're talking about a group of people that would rather put concrete in a swimming pool than to let us enjoy it.
Yes.
Glad I got my own bitch. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Just have me let my black joy come out. Go ahead. What examples of, and if it's okay if I can double back to
Right.
you, KK, you growing up, what were examples of black joy you witnessed that you remember?
The way we do family, I think, is something that is absolutely the most beautiful thing in the world. The way we do family and community, there is nothing like it. That brings me the most joy. Just, I remember, I am the child of a foster child. And my mom was like the glue, the nucleus that kept everybody together. And those people, those folks kept history and legacy going. And so when you think about the value and the importance of getting everybody together, we're all in one space. That's why it's so irritating for somebody to see us at a park, you know, permit in hand. Like, these are the spots that we reserve, that we paid for, you know, and those are examples. That's my favorite example of black joy, is how we do family, because our families have been destroyed since colonization, and to see it, us together, is, to me, the most beautiful thing in the world. And don't get me started with this whole dancing thing, because when we in the room line dancing all around in a circle and
Baby,
doing
you
our
you ain't got
thing
nothing
on
on
one
our soul
accord,
train. You heard me.
you
Ain't
know what
nothing
I'm
got nothing
saying?
on the soul train.
Yes, it's just beautiful. And that's black joy. That is us. Um, it's how we got over. I've been talking more lately about how we got over, and it's just one of the ways. And I love it.
Love it.
Yep. I experienced black joy. New Year's, I posted my black joy videos of us dancing, all the family.
Oh yes, I did see that. Yes, yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
saw that. I was like,
No,
oh, look at
yes.
Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I can't dance, but
Hey, you were out there
I
though.
had fun.
You were out there doing your thing.
No, I was telling her also before you got here, the listeners they heard it, but the joy of it being passed down to my children. And here it is, like me as a mom and my adult children, I'm asking them a serious question or getting on to them, but why you ain't da 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 da? And they looking at me straight face, but then they doing the Tootsie Roll while they looking at me like, bro, please stop. Stop. You know what I mean? Like, just stop, you know? But it's just them. Like, no matter what, they just happy. Like, they
Yep.
just happy. So, and that's something that, again, we can't be broken. You can't take that away from us. You can't.
No,
You cannot.
no,
Yeah, I think it sends a message that we will not be broken.
No,
no.
no, no. So just give in. Just give us some reparations. Because
No,
regardless of we having a lot, we're going to be in here clowning anyway. You still going to get roasted. So,
yeah. Not give, pay.
pay. Okay. Yeah,
Because
there we
it's
go.
not a gift, it's pay.
Pay. Yes.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I keep thinking about this whole, everybody screaming about these. They turned Obama, the Obamas into
We
apes on
just
that
talked about
meme.
that.
And I'm
Yes.
like, who cares? I could care less about a meme. Is anybody surprised? I'm not surprised.
Not
And
surprised at
you
all.
Not
facts about that.
surprised.
I
Let's
wasn't
focus on
surprised.
what's important. You know,
Yeah.
there's um child essay, there's cannibalism, all that stuff that was perpetuated on us, right? When it was on us, it wasn't a big deal. But now that there are other people involved, now it's a big deal. But I do not care about that picture. I say we stay focused on that. See, that's another opportunity to take us out of our focus, right? We're focused in 2026. You can't take
Right.
us out of. Okay, well, you showed us that picture. People been doing that forever, calling her a man, doing all the things. You cannot take my black joy, and you cannot take my focus off of you. Need to be focused on them Epstein files. That's where you need to be.
Right.
Never taking my joy, never. Because
Mm-hmm.
the joy, what does it say? The joy that I have, the world can't take it away. Nope,
Yes.
can't take it
Yes.
away.
Preach.
Can't take
Preach.
it away.
I also share how amazing I thought that even though it wasn't really a response, how the Obama organization, how they put out that video where I don't know if you saw where Obama he talked about Michelle. It basically just showed how they were from the beginning, their black joy compared to their black love. Like, oh my God. I promise, after I saw it, I said, okay, now you post yours. Where your video at? Rump. Call him, call him Teddy Rumpskin. Where yours at? You know what I mean? Let's see yours. And sing. You can't do it. You can't do it. So they didn't have to address it at all. They just said, you know what? This is who we are. This is our black joy. Let that be the answer. And that's it. It's like you can't top that. Nothing can be said after that.
Nope.
And again, you going out of your character just to doing something crazy. What did you just say? You can't argue. Don't argue with a fool. Say it again. What you say?
You argue with a fool, you look like a
Like a
fool.
fool. Yes. Yes. And I feel like that was perfect. That
Yep.
was perfect. So
Yep.
So we're having our discussion on Black Joy, but we want to invite you to participate. How have you, or are you, or will you practice Black Joy in the past, present, or future? Comment and respond on whatever platform you're listening, and we might even talk about it on a future show. I would love to do like a
yes.
bonus episode where we just read comments
Oh
from listeners.
yes. Yes. Yeah, let's invite them to do that.
I love that.
Yes.
And we can
Let's do that.
respond to them.
Oh yes.
Yeah, in real time. I love it.
Let me tell you something. Black joy is you knew, like you had that neighborhood crackhead, but no matter what, he was out there in the corner store just dancing. You were like hyping him, like, hey, go Jack Jack, go Jack Jack. Like, you can't take that. You know that man a crackhead, but it ain't stopping him. You don't know where he's sleeping at. Hell, he don't know where he's sleeping at. But y'all out there just getting it. Just getting it. You know what I mean? So you never know.
Oh, we will hype you up.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Let me tell you, that was another thing. When I used to work in the daycare, this was ages ago. And them kids be falling out acting crazy when their parents drop them off. But then when the parents leave, I be like, they'll be fine. The kids be crying right there. And I said, well, come on over here. Girl, when it was time to have that, if your name is Keisha, jump up. And them kids be like that. They be happy. Just hype them up. Go, Keisha. Go, Keisha. Like, you can't take that away.
Nope.
We're still under them young. So, yep. And just for the people that don't understand it, people that are Caucasian, your children was involved too. Your children, they used to love it. If your name is Rebecca, jump up and down. Well, shut up. She couldn't wait. She could not wait for her turn. You heard me. She couldn't. So yeah, it starts early. Positive. We include everybody. We sure did. So yeah. All right, let me start acting up. Let me sit here. Sorry.
All right, Lisa, you got a piece for us today?
Yes, I do. This one is called Talk. Young blood, you got a lot of nerve. But it gets worse every time you see your reflection. Thank you, God, for this skin I'm in, this melanin so amazing that our epidermis has no space for envy. Every blazing birth celebrated where thoughts of our nation have them reappraising. See, we've been proud. Been proud, so proud that our black is proud, so we keep the Ottomans united. We unite our reels, and your planned ex-post, you should have just stuck with the little blue bird. as much as it will be a joy and explain my experience, I find it necessary to end it like this. So in conclusion, years of injustice and my ability of smiling is enough. And that's all you get. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so let's do our call to action for the culture.
For the culture. For me, I tell my culture is let's touch more on Black joy. Whatever your Black joy is, it could be different for each family, each person. But it's very important that we do touch in on our Black joy and make sure our own children understands where it comes from and why it's important that we maintain this. And then we can go from there. Sky's the limit from there.
My call to action is keep living, keep laughing, keep loving. You only get one turn at this. Don't let nobody try to take your joy away, and keep dancing. Dance until you just fall out. Dance, dance, dance until you can't dance no more. And express all the joy that you have, every opportunity you can with everybody you love, every moment that you can. That's my call to action.
You should end this episode with I will survive. As long as I know how to love, I know I still love. Okay.
My call to action is very similar to both of you. Yeah, I'm calling the culture to practice Black joy right now. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be public. It doesn't even have to be meaningful to anybody but you. It's a lot happening in this country, and we got a president who makes racist jokes unapologetically. So if you need to take a break from social media and or the news, then do it. Try to incorporate a good old laugh, a good old kiki like every day, and enjoy the people who mean the most to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know everybody's going through something hard, but the Bible says weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning.
That part.
As I was prepping for this episode, I realized I needed this episode. I am working on being like more present and just enjoying the moment. So I'm about to enjoy hanging out with my family, watching Bad Bunny and this
Yes.
Super Bowl that the
Girl,
Falcons
ain't no
are
Super Bowl.
never
This
gonna
is the
be
Bad
in.
Bunny concert. Get it right.
I don't know not nan one Bad Bunny
It
song,
don't
but I'm
matter. He
gonna
said you don't have to
rock
know
out.
Spanish. He said long as you know how to dance, you was good.
The beat will get you.
But this was a great episode. I feel like we really did. I do share the thought of this is needed, and I'm hoping that somebody else that's listening to this, they needed this too. So whatever you're going through at work, in your personal life, everywhere, just don't let that take away from your Black joy. Remember who you are, even if you didn't have the greatest childhood, even if your family didn't meet up. There's something about you somebody loves.
Yeah.
And again, let that contribute to who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blacktivities is a space for Black joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if you follow us, that's you contributing to your Black joy.
If you enjoyed this episode, click that plus in Apple Podcasts or the subscribe button in YouTube to make sure you keep getting these episodes. Blacktivities is a conversation. It's not like a lecture. So if this episode spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Comment.
Yes.
We do read your comments and we do respond to your comments.
Yes.
So until we meet again,
King and queens keep doing big things. Let's go.